Folks, welcome to the Gamers Health Cast. I am Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR and general pain in the ass. This is my lovely wife, Rach.
Rach.
So normally we do this at 8 o'clock. I know it's 8:30, and the reason for that is uh, every late spring, early summer, my old gaming group from high school and college years, we get together and we didn't do it last year because of COVID, but we make a point of gathering because we lost a friend on 9/11, and the group wasn't. We didn't meet regularly. We'd email occasionally, occasional phone calls, but we've made this a tradition now that we get together on a yearly basis because um, when you lose a friend, you realize that you don't want to misplace or lose the other ones or forget about the importance of those friendships. So we make a point of doing this. And today was the day. And we hung out for a chunk of the day. And did we game? No, I didn't tell you this.
What's that?
So I've got a verbal commitment from my old gaming group that my friend Dave was trying to run 5e for them. He says, I can't run 5e. And I was like, well, if you want me to run games, I have two requirements. I go, one is that you never ask me to run games on demand. Because my old gaming group, we moved on to MMOs for the longest time, and they're still doing MMOs. And they wanted to be like, oh, everybody get on in half an hour, and we're going to play for 45 minutes. I got none of that shit. I go, we put aside one day a week. One day a month. And we'll say, this is the time, this is when we're going to end. We'll get together, and we'll do it. And if it works, we'll continue it. So I wanted a commitment that we'll do it for one time. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't work, so be it. And I said the other requirement was never ask me to run 5e. And before I hear the people going, but 5e is a great system. I will gladly play it as a player. I am not equipped to run it. I do not know it well enough. I do not intend to learn it well enough to run it. The only system that I might invest my time into learning right now that's based upon an older system would be the new Warhammer 4th edition, only because the material for it is, dare I say it, fucking amazing. But I think what I'll probably do is I'll either run towards the Wizardry or Basic Fantasy Roleplay to say, hey, wait, Basic Fantasy Roleplay to everybody today. Great game, available on Amazon, print on demand. Ships free. It's like $5 for the rule book. You can also buy it on Lulu, so you get a coupon for Lulu. It's also another great choice. Free in PDF on the Basic Fantasy Roleplay site. I'm not pimping it. I'm just mentioning it. So just things to keep in mind. But today was a good day for my soul. You know, these are the people that I've known since I was, 16, 17. I'm going to be 54 later on this month. So these are my friends for 38 years. How often do you get to say that?
You know? Not often at all.
So I think that it's important. And if they want a game, it's important to keep those connections going. And I love gaming. All right. And to be able to game with your old group. And it's just beautiful. And I'll do it virtually. I'll probably use a VTT, Roll20, or Albert Rodeo. Not sure which one. But that's likely how we're going to go about doing that. So that was my day today. That's the reason why we're kicking this off half an hour later than usual. That's why we didn't get like heads up early in the day. I was out, dare I say it, having a good time. I know I let my responsibilities here slip a little bit, but you know, it happened. Rach got to go shopping at a mall today, so I mean, how bad is that?
Not bad at all.
You know, again, we discussed it before. The return to normality is huge. And by the way, as a total aside, every time I go out with my friends on a yearly basis, and this has happened, I think now at least. Hey, Brie. Thank you for joining us.
Hey.
I think this is at least 4 of the last 5 years that we've done this, which means this goes back 6 years because we didn't do this last year. I meet a co-worker of mine who was in a neighborhood. She's walking her dog, and fellow sergeant who retired before I did. And it's just like, how do we always meet? How does that schedule happen that we're always on the street at the same time, walking the same block? So
like, because you go there once a year, it's not like,
yeah, it's not like I'm out there once a
you've
week.
been meeting me after yoga classes out there.
Yeah,
they're not even open out there, but
yeah, it's not. It's not like I'm in this neighborhood.
Yeah,
really more than once a year, and this exact area of it, like more than once a year, and so I truly believe that sometimes higher powers are at work, and that
the universe is working its magic.
So and again, I spent the day with my friends, and maybe I was just meant to pop into Janice to give a boost to Janice, and maybe that's the connection that she needs on a yearly basis. And COVID prevented it last year. I don't know. So I just little things, how the universe comes together, how all this stuff falls into place. I don't like to question it too much. I like to accept it because I think it makes for an easier ride on this thing called life. It's a merry-go-round, right? Kind of, sort of. So now, Rach has been. If you've been watching for the last couple of weeks, there was a point where I was talking like I had a horse in my throat, and my throat was hoarse, and I would literally wake up and think I was half drowning. It was like waterboarding myself with phlegm, and I was disgusting.
Whoa.
I didn't. It really. Listen, I'm sorry, but it was what was happening. So, Rach, you've been suffering a bit the last couple of days now.
Yeah, since like Wednesday.
So.
Oh no, Thursday.
So
it just feels like since Wednesday.
And Rach is somebody who never takes a decongestant, because what happens with decongestant, it can dry you out, really.
And because I don't know, I forget the way that my skin is. I don't know whether because it's so light, like just like the hair, and it just doesn't hold moisture that well, even in summer. So I always have lotion everywhere, and stuff for my nose to keep it moist. So whatever. I'm sure it's not a really great topic for you, but here's the thing. That's okay. But I use certain things to help me through. So I did take a couple of decongestants today, and I feel like it helped me a lot.
Because you were having really bad sinus pressure, and I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it was so bad that I even the light bothered me, because it's just so much pressure in my head and around the eyes and stuff. Because your sinuses all run. Right. Yeah. So yeah, and so of course I put on my peppermint roll-on. It's like a essential oil. And what's nice is that it kind of penetrates and cools like the whole area. So you put it on your temples. I put it on the occiput on the back of my head, like that.
Occiput?
Yeah, like that.
Is it like an octopus?
No.
All right.
I guess like that occipital ridge where you can feel that bone. Let's see. Right here. Okay. You could feel it there, like.
Well, you can continue doing that.
Yeah, where's that little space that's like not your skull.
If you keep on massaging my neck like that,
so
my sinuses are going to run.
I put the roll-on in there, and like at certain points by my ears, like I used to do. Ooh, that felt good. A lot of acupressure, and so with clients and stuff, and so I used to like put beads and needles and stuff, but just even rolling manipulating the area with your hands or with the metal ball, like, that can be really cooling and, help you feel better and help sort of, decongest you. So self-massage, I guess.
I mean, now, just as a pretty much a total aside, if you go back with me 15 years ago, when I used to get sinuses, when I would get a cold or bad allergies, the ridges above my eyes, right above the eyebrow, would literally pop out. The joke at work was that I was like the Cro-Magnon man when that stuff would happen, because you could see it, and I could physically massage it, and I could feel.
Because it was really puffy.
And in retrospect, that was probably an early sign that I had Hodgkin's, because it hasn't happened since I got treated for lymphoma. But because lymphoma is a cancer of your secondary circulatory system,
Right.
the lymphatic fluid, and it apparently would have been probably, I guess, a sign. So I just thought, look at that! Look at me! Oh, I've got these big ridges, and I was starting down. I feel better, but literally, once I got treated for Hodgkin's, I never had that again. You never noticed that with me when we were married.
No.
And we've been married now for going to be 10 years in November. So, that was probably like 5 years before that I hadn't had it, because again, a treatment for lymphoma apparently brought to that. But it might be again. Here's the thing: when it comes, you know your body better than anybody else. And here's something else: you're also the first person to dismiss things quicker than anybody else.
Yeah.
All right. So if I had noticed that on Rachel, and I said, "Hey, Rach, the last couple of times that you've had sinus issues, your eyebrow, right above your eyebrows, you wasn't doing this before, but now you got these big ridges coming up. Maybe you should see a doctor and have it looked at." I would have said that, right? But to yourself, you go, "Oh, fuck it, I'll just massage it away, or they'll go away," or you joke about it, because you tend to dismiss things when it comes to your own health. You minimize it, right?
Oh, yeah, because you're just trying to get by and make life work.
Right.
That's how we've done since we're little kids, right? Like, you always see little kids, like, they'll pretend, they'll try and compensate and not be sick when they want to go to the amusement park,
right?
Do the fun stuff, not go to school.
I'm not saying they ever put a thermometer next to a light bulb to try to get to 103 degrees.
I used to rub it on my corduroys. Didn't work.
I got caught in that shit, but in any case.
Yeah. It was the 70s corduroys.
God, God bless corduroys. But folks, I mean, I'll throw myself under the bus. Okay, last spring, after I had my upper respiratory infection, which turned into pneumonia and sepsis. For my older viewers, that means blood poisoning. That's how I always heard it, which then led to congestive heart failure. I knew I was retaining water. Rach saw me retaining water, and of course, I'm doing that research online, and they're like, "Oh, well, this can happen if you get sepsis." Not when it goes like halfway up your midsection. But I was minimizing it because I didn't want to consider the other possibilities. In my case,
exposing yourself to the virus,
right?
Which was off the chain, right? Here in New York City at that time, it was like the epicenter,
right? And I mean, in retrospect, everything worked out fine for me. As my surgeon said to me at the second procedure in June, he was like, he goes, you told me that before you were retaining water for about a month and a half, almost 2 months before you came in. Well, maybe was it long? Yeah, no, it was about 2 months. 2 months of retaining water before you came in. I go, yeah. He goes, well, I got news for you. He goes, you could have come in a month and a half, 2 months ago. He goes, you could have come in earlier in the week from when you actually did show up. I was supposed to come in on a Tuesday to my cardiologist. I didn't go until Thursday because Tuesday I just felt too much like shit. And he's like, if you would come in when you were supposed to come in, or if you came in earlier, you would have been exposed to COVID. He goes, you came in a day and a half after we opened up a COVID-free wing at the hospital. So, and he goes, and the outcome would have been the same. He goes, and the surgeon had a sense of humor. He goes, I know it was probably a pretty shitty situation with all the water you were retaining. It probably wasn't very comfortable. It probably wasn't a very pleasant time. But it worked out okay. But now, honestly, if it hadn't been the world of COVID, I would have been back in my doctor's office the moment my legs were retaining water. I mean, was I dealing with my doctor over the phone? Yeah, but it's not the same. I would have been back in the doctor's office saying, hey, doc, what the fuck is going on? And I would have had a medical professional looking at it. COVID screwed so much shit up, which is why, and I'll say it now, so I don't have to say it at the end of the broadcast. But with Rach and I, we are both vaccinated. Okay, that's our personal choice. All right. In my group of friends today, 2 brothers were not vaccinated. That's their
Really?
Yeah, Dave and Brian, not vaccinated.
Wow. Okay.
All right, because they do most of their work now
Remotely. Okay.
Okay. And when they're with people that are vaccinated, like us,
Mhm.
and their health, they didn't have comorbidities. Listen, I am
Even out at Macy's today, like out at the mall, like in the mall area, like more people were wearing masks, and more people were wearing masks than not.
okay.
But there was one sales lady, one of the counter girls,
Mhm.
for like the perfumes. She was like, without a mask. I was like, can I take my mask down and sniff?
I want to sniff, and I can't sniff.
And she's like, as long as you're fully vaccinated, I'll show you my Excelsior pass. I was so happy to, be able to not feel some type of way to take my mask down and enjoy something I always enjoy.
I mean, and that's just it. I mean, again, for us, vaccination was the right choice. Just from the conversation I've just had with you, my comorbidities are serious, right? So my risk if I got infected was significantly higher than, for say, my friends Dave and Bry, who are in relatively good shape and a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
So they're under 50 and all that stuff. And well, actually, no,
they're very healthy, right? They're kind of health buffs.
They both work out constantly, although I can actually say this for the first time in probably 30 years. I weigh less than Dave.
Good stuff.
There you go. I've said it online. I'm sure one of the.
I'm sure he'll see.
Yeah, he'll be like, motherfucker, just
you Tenkar.
Yeah, but again, you have to make those decisions, and you know your risk factors. I knew my risk factors. Rach knew hers. Mm-hmm. My parents knew theirs. So once we got my parents vaccinated, that was the first step. Rach was the second because she was a social worker, and I was the last. Once they opened it up to people with comorbidities, once we were a unit that was basically our own herd immunity, it allowed us to do a lot of things we couldn't comfortably do before. We could have people over, right? Because if we're not at risk, then it's okay, right? You can bring another family over. None of them were vaccinated as long as this unit is all vaccinated. So it changed the way you're able to deal with it. For us, again, we're not medical professionals. I never claimed to be one. And the farthest I'll ever say is you claim your characters in your games that you play. When the referee or the GM or the DM tells you, oh, you did what? Well, here's your consequences. And you go, wait, no, my character has common sense. He'd never do that if he knew what the repercussions would be. But guess what? If that's the case in game, then use your common sense in life. All right? And don't listen to the fucking talking heads, even if it's me. Okay? But I'm not telling you what to do except for one thing. Use your common sense and talk to a medical professional that you actually trust. Somebody, whether it's your general practitioner, your primary care, or an RN, a nurse practitioner, whoever it is that you have a solid trust as to how it's going on, talk to them. I mean, I'll be honest with you. When I was going through Hodgkin's, I was probably some of the best advice that I was getting as to what was going on with my body due to chemo was actually from my pharmacist, who was like, you know what? He goes, that chemo right now is probably the reason why you're suddenly a type 2 diabetic. I go, really?
Oh, Persat said that.
Persat today, yeah. And he's like, yeah. He goes, chemo throws off your body chemistry, and he goes, and when you're done with when you are over the chemo, he goes, your body may adjust back or it may not. In my case, my body never adjusted back, so I am still a type 2 diabetic. Now, that being said, making smart decisions, right? If you know that you have limitations, like I have limitations on what I can eat. I mean, sure, I can eat anything, okay? But certain things are going to spike my blood sugar. Certain things are not.
Yeah, I'm just being careful of how much anything.
Well, so, and my friends were concerned. We're at my friend Brian's house, and Brian's like, well, dude, what do I need to have for you? Oh, and very, very sweet. And I said, Brian, don't worry about it. I got it taken care of. And what did I bring? I brought fat snacks, cheddar flavored crackers, and my
Good
friends tried it.
stuff. Oh,
They're
they
like,
tried it. Did they like it?
Yeah, they go, like, this is like eating tastes like a Cheez-It. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I brought the flavored cashews. What kind of
There was sriracha.
Sriracha.
Are they crazy hot?
Well, they were very good. I don't have any more because I think Dave scoffed it all down.
Oh my god, that's so funny. He loved it.
And I brought beef jerky. And the beef jerky I brought was low carb, low sodium. Very, very flavorful, very tender. I think I have another bag that I picked up. I bought that on Thrive Market. So Thrive Market, if you're looking to get foods that are organic or healthier and stuff, I highfalutin low carb.
He turned us on.
He turned us on to that. It's
we're not sponsored by it. We wish.
No, but here's the thing, folks. When it comes to trying to change your eating habits, you have to find options. We discussed this last week. If you don't have ready options for you, when it comes to your eating, you're going to go, wow, I want to eat something sweet. Well, I have nothing healthy, but we still have those Almond Joy bars. Oh, God, I'll pick out in the Almond Joy bars. As opposed to, you have like low carb ice cream. I'd rather have low carb ice cream, right, than pig out on a candy bar that's going to be no good for me at all. I'd rather go for low carb ice cream
we don't have to like mess the scale up,
right?
Or enjoying something sweet,
right? So
it's not going to be good for us.
So like Rach requested over the weekend, she wanted me to make pancakes one day, so I went on to Amazon and I ordered 2 types of pancake mixes, and one was Swerve, right? One was the Swerve boxes.
Yeah.
So Swerve is one of the companies that makes
a sweetener.
Yeah, and they also make pancake waffle mixes. You know what? There are options out there. If you know it, you are being tempted to binge.
Sorry,
guys. Well, that's why we mentioned that you have a cold.
Yeah.
But if you have these temptations to binge on something, give yourself healthy alternatives. Okay. We were out in, if you know Queens, New York, we were out in Forest Hills. We went to Five Boroughs Cafe. I was surprised they had seating for 5. It was crowded, but we didn't really have to wait. And although it was tight at the table, God bless, I ordered the plate with 2 burritos, 1 steak, 1 chicken with rice, beans, guacamole. And I told myself, I'm not going to eat all that rice. All right, I lied. I lied to myself. I ate all the fucking rice. But when I was snacking, right, early in the day, I was drinking. I wasn't drinking my low carb beers. I wasn't having my whiskey or scotch. I was having Sam Adams, Summer Ale, Sam Adams.
The real deal.
Yeah, Sam Adams. What's it? Wheat cherry wheat, and an Innocent Gun. I actually didn't have light beers. I didn't have wine. Probably not the healthiest stuff. And I'm guessing because I made sure that I had low carb snacks to go with it, and we had a nice, decent sized walk to and from Brian's apartment to getting our dinner. When I was leaving at 7:00, my blood sugar was 98. I was stunned. I had the beef burrito with the shell. So you can put yourself into a spot where, I really thought I was going to spike. And by all rights, I probably should have, because I wasn't saying, I really should have gotten like the fajita, but
just the veggies.
But there's a reason why I didn't get the fajita, Rach.
Why?
There was no room on the table. The table was barely made for 4, and there were 5 of us sitting on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was like, "There's no."
Because you have to have that.
Yeah.
That cast iron pan.
Right, and your own
stuff, and then the tortilla.
If I did that, I would have been sitting on the floor, Indian style, to eat my food. So that wouldn't happen. But again, you got to put yourself.
It's hard to get into Five Boroughs.
No, really, a little bit easier now. I think they have the outdoor seating. So it kind of
Oh,
expanded their
that's
seating.
good.
So that because it's a small place, but the food is good. If you're out near Forest Hills out here in Queens, New York, it's a good place to go to if you can get seated.
That's a big if. We've
Yeah.
never been able to do it together.
No,
But yeah, this is like probably one of the food capitals of the world because we have so many different people of different cultural backgrounds. Like even in like one of our parks, like one of our big parks, Flushing Meadow, we have this great big thing that goes like for most of the summer. That's free after the 10th. Like you don't have to buy the tickets to go in there.
Oh,
it's like this big
on the weekends,
sort
right?
of, yeah, on Saturday and Sunday, and it's this big these I guess kiosks or stalls where they make certain specialties from all different countries, and I want to try that one weekend.
we can plan.
And the food trucks on Roosevelt Avenue in Jackson Heights. Yeah, because they have even a Tibetan truck. I've never had Tibetan food, and I think it would be just awesome.
And you know what? Again, moderation is also part of the key. I didn't have the 2 burritos I got. One came home and went to Rach.
And I got the chicken.
Right. Because I didn't know you could order 2 different. It's like, oh, you don't have to order steak. Oh, actually, I was ordering chicken. He goes, you can swap it out. I go, well, I can. Well, then I'll do one of each because variety is strength. So I mean, that's just little things. But I'm always conscious. I never forget the idea in the back of my head that all right, I gotta watch my blood sugar because it is part of my life right now. Nothing that I'm happy about, but again, it's something that I turned a blind eye to for years. So no, I'm no longer turning a blind eye to it. I can't afford to.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, but sometimes in life you have to get to the precipice. You got to look at that edge and you got to go, that's a long drop. I think if I make that drop, there's no coming back. And you got to go, yeah, no, I don't like that feeling when you're almost asleep and then you feel like you're falling off the edge of the world. You ever get that? Like you feel like you're falling.
What do you mean? Because you're overstuffed?
No, when you're lying down, you're falling asleep. Ever have it where like you suddenly get that feeling of falling?
Yes, and in yoga nidra too. Like, it's like a form of yoga where you basically lie down, and it's a sort of a meditative like shavasana or like corpse pose, and great person,
great name for a pose,
and the person that's leading it will guide you through certain imaginary things or certain type of meditation, and I felt that a lot in that, just like a
right,
like fast falling.
Yeah. No, I'm looking over the edge and I'm saying like, wow, I could visualize that, and that fall would actually be a real fucking one way fall, and I don't want to do that fall. I appreciate life for the beauty that it is, even on the days that it is not beautiful, and it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you are going to have shitty days, guaranteed. I mean, as a community right now, if you're an OSR gamer, you're probably having a shitty time if you're following the current events. Which is why, as somebody who does these videos, no, I'm not delving into the shit.
Okay.
What I'm going to say is that you have to find a balance. I could spend every day covering the latest stupidity, or I can say, hey, look, here's Basic Fantasy RPG, and this is the game I'm bringing to my old gaming group, and it's a great fucking game from Chris Gonnerman, and you should all check it out. Or, hey, here's these 4 old school Kickstarters, some of which are probably going to be great for even guys and girls that are playing 5e. Why not check it out? There's good stuff going on. There's great stuff going on. Again, as I've stated before, human nature is that it's the bad stuff that sticks with you. The good stuff, we want good stuff. We expect good stuff. And once we get it, we kind of go, okay, that was great. I had my ice cream. And now what? But now, if you tasted your ice cream, right, and instead of it being chocolate ice cream, it was chocolate shit, right? You literally had a spoonful of icy shit. How long would you remember that shit for? Rach?
Say that again?
if you were going for
Sorry.
a spoonful of chocolate ice cream
Mhm.
and it wanted being a spoonful of chocolate shit, okay, how long would that memory of chocolate shit be in your head?
Probably for a really long time. I'd be like, man,
Right. But now if you had but if now you really like chocolate ice cream and you have that scoop of that spoonful of chocolate ice
But
cream.
then again, I might also have that. I might forget about that shit ice cream, and then remember like the really really good hit of the ice cream that
and
felt
that's
really nice.
and that's great. And that's what it should be, right?
How do you call it?
The endorphins?
The euphoric recall.
But you're not gonna have that euphoric recall when you're tasting the shit. That's
No,
sure.
sir.
And that's the issue. Again, how often, and I'm guilty of this, all right? It's like I gotta say, I intended to write a letter to thank the staff at St. Francis for the wonderful work they did when I was there. I never wrote that letter. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sure if I had a horrible experience, I would have been more likely to write that letter, right? Because again, it's the things that annoy us or upset us or frustrate us.
We have an easier time maybe of complaining than giving.
Well, because there's a certain expectation. And when things meet your expectation, that's good. But when they don't meet your expectation, then you feel like you have a right to complain, but we forget to praise. To put it another way too, Rach and I, when we go out to our local pub, and we had a wedding reception there 10 years ago. We know the staff very well. We weren't there for the better part of a year.
Yeah.
So now that we're there, do I tip my normal 20%? I've been tipping 30 to 40% on certain meals. Now that we're getting back to normality and we're there more often, I'll probably bring it down to 20%. But for me, it was, listen, I'm just happy to see you.
So they know how much they're appreciated.
Yeah.
And then we know that they missed a lot.
Yeah.
They missed out on a lot of like income.
I mean, we were blessed. As shitty as last year was.
Yeah.
As shitty as 2020 was. It was a blessing. Okay? And not everybody can say that.
Yeah.
So now something that I have not brought up anywhere else, and I got to give credit to one of the listeners to this podcast / vidcast. They heard Mike and I talking about how the old timers in this industry work without pensions, right? Their generation, even our generation, right? If you're somebody who's making a living off of game creation, you don't have a pension, right? Your pension is whatever you can squeeze out of Social Security at the end, and that's it. You're probably going to be writing until the day you die. Somebody like Jim Ward does not get a chance to go out gracefully. He's going to be writing games until the end because there's no pension for it. So, and they have health issues. So it puts them in these situations where maybe they'll take a freelance job that they wouldn't have taken otherwise. So the idea that was brought up to my attention is that Mike and I could look into maybe putting together a nonprofit, 401(c).
Yeah, 401(c)(3).
I was close. And establish something where...
Sorry, 501(c)(3).
501. See, I'm totally fucking retarded. Sorry.
Yeah, 501.
Can't blame it on the alcohol. Alcohol. One of our comedians. But in any case, we're just starting to brainstorm how we're going to try to make this work. And when we do have something set up, obviously we'll let you all know. But my mindset is not just to help those that are the old timers, but also the new guard, right? We want to get something that's going to help them into perpetuity, and it's not there to replace these pensions that they don't have because we're not going to be able to raise enough money to do that. But it should be there to help them in those extreme times of need.
Yeah, and it would be great to get like some of the small publishers and some of the companies that use the services of these providers to be able to support it, and like a social responsibility project. You know how
Yeah.
companies do like social responsibility projects and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it could be really awesome.
So, I mean, I've heard a lot of discussions and people like, oh, well, so and so should never have taken that job because of it's a morally wrong job for them to have taken within the industry. But guess what? If you are a freelancer and that's how you pay your bills, moral decisions when it comes to who you take work from is difficult. Okay, and the idea here is we'd like to get an organization started where maybe somebody needs to pay their electric bill, they don't have to worry about getting their electric bill paid 1 month because maybe we can help. All right. Or maybe, somebody needs to put food on the table. And I know there's government ways to do that too, but it isn't always as easy said as done. We want to be able to help with that. Help on the holidays. They're going to be freelancers out there who, again, maybe through no fault of their own, maybe their regular employment because of the pandemic is gone, and they're looking to get a present or two out for their kids, and they're barely able to keep food on the table. Maybe we'll be able to make a change in that. So, I mean, between Mike and myself, I think we know enough of the movers and shakers that we should be able to get this started with a decent investment. And I'll certainly put my own money into this. Put money that the tavern raises into it. I mean, that to me that's the kind of cause. That's what you do for a community.
Yeah,
it's not started yet.
Karma project. It's a service.
But I want to stress it's
spiritual service.
Don't reach out to me yet with promises of funds. We're not collecting yet. We want everything set up and ready to go, and then we'll make an official announcement. And I don't know how quickly.
But we're always happy to hear that people want to do
listen,
positive things.
We're always happy to hear about the support, and that's why doing these things is important. And we're not doing this because we're looking to support a certain cause. We're looking to support creators. That's the cause that we're looking to support. Okay, that's the community. That's the creators are what give us the games, the adventures, the material, the books, the reading material that we fucking thrive on, right? And they don't always. Sometimes they need a little bit more than they're able to make from sales and from the work they do. And we're just trying to find a way to put in that little safety net. And again, we're going to have to work out the details. I will say this: if you know somebody who's experienced running a nonprofit 501c,
501c, yeah.
501. There we go. You can teach an old dog new tricks. You can reach out to me. Our voicemail is 347-509-5168. I did some voicemails earlier today. I listened to them all, even if they don't all get up on the show. But you can also email. You can email us at Tenkars Tavern, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you have any questions or any feedback or any ideas, listen, if you have something you want us to cover on Gamers Health, if there's something that you're like, I want to hear about, I don't know, whatever. Because if I knew about it, we'd probably be covering it already. If there's things that you want us to talk about, let us know. If you want to hear about more ways about how you can integrate yoga into your life,
let us know.
Let us know.
What helps. We could do meditations. We could do some sort of like tiny little asana practice, or
right? I mean,
some little stretches, or even self massage or tapping. These are all things that help with our immunity, also. So,
So these
let us know what
we got.
Sounds good to you.
We've got multiple balls in the air. Yeah. So I'm guaranteeing you're going to drop a few of them, but we'll just pick them up and keep on going. And that's part of life there too.
Oh, I always love looking into new stuff too. Yeah.
So give us ideas. We're more than happy to check stuff out. This is your show. Okay. If you're watching this isn't just for us. Sure, we do it for us because, especially for me, it's the joy of being alive. Mm-hmm. And I want to ensure that as many of my viewers and listeners get to share that for as long as possible.
And have the same joy for themselves.
Right. And I have no problem talking about my mistakes when it comes to my health, because they are far and many. And if anybody can hear about my mistakes and go, "Oh shit, Tenkar did what or didn't do what," I think I'll avoid that. And I've done my job.
Have 'em.
All right, folks. I think on that note, I don't have to do the COVID speech because I already did the COVID speech.
Yay.
Yay. So, folks, as always, be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you. Whether you believe in a higher power or not, if you don't, I wish that the guiding spirit or the powers of the universe look upon you kindly. Right? That's all we can ask for each other, right?
Yeah.
All right, knock on wood.
On that note,
Roll.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Roll your dice well. I'll be back again tomorrow, Sunday. Tomorrow's July 4th. Go forth and prosper. Night, Bree.
Night. Thank you.
Be good.